What's going on, guys? So a few weeks ago, I decided I wanted to get my pitbull Savage some company because he's been around the yard all by himself for quite a while. So I decided to go get him some company. So I went out and I got a nice little female pitbull that I named Sheba, and that's Sheba right there on the screen. And when I picked her up, she was like about 10 weeks old at the time when I got her, and she was looking nice and strong and healthy with no issues apparently. Then I noticed a couple of weeks later, I noticed she had this budging stomach, and I was like, "Wow, this doesn't look too good." Now, if you look at the screen right here on this photograph, this was when I first noticed her stomach extending, and I was like, "Okay, maybe she ate a little bit too much. Maybe the stomach will go down." But after a week of noticing the stomach wasn't going down, and instead it was just getting bigger, I took it a little bit serious, and I decided to take Sheba to the vet, and I wanted to get a vet's opinion on what's going on. Now, what you're looking at right here, guys, you're looking at the fluid which was gathered in Sheba's stomach being removed by the veterinarian, and this was only after I took Sheba to a first vet who only gave me some medication to allow Sheba to urinate a lot more, right? And put her on some more healthier dog food that has more protein, because apparently they're saying that Sheba is lacking protein and needs a lot more protein, which is causing the fluid to be gathering inside her stomach. So this veterinarian right here made the decision to remove the excess fluid that's causing Sheba's gut to be distended. And this process right here seemed to help Sheba a lot, because at first she was losing energy. She didn't stop eating, as a matter of fact. I got to say that. She didn't stop eating. She was still eating a lot. She was still very much appearing to be healthy, but I did notice that she wasn't breathing properly, in which the veterinarian explained why she wasn't breathing properly, also in this video, which I'll let you hear shortly. She wasn't breathing too well, but one thing I could say, she was still eating, still drinking enough water and all that stuff, but I just didn't like the way her gut was extending. And despite me taking her to one vet and they gave me some medication, I noticed that after a week of taking her to the vet, the gut was just getting bigger and bigger and nothing was happening. So I decided to take her to this veterinarian right here, Dr. Solomon, who did a really good job on removing the excess fluid from Sheba's gut. And I must say, guys, that tin right there that they're squeezing the fluid in, I think they got about 6 to 8 of that full of fluid out of Sheba's gut. And even the veterinarian was saying they've never seen this much fluid in a puppy before. So it came as a surprise to even the vets, to see this much fluid inside a puppy's gut. Now, the reason for this, Dr. Solomon explained, it could be lacking protein, like the first veterinarian said. He did say that could be the case, as well as it could be heart disease, which would be less likely in a puppy. He said if it's a heart disease, then that could also happen, but it's less likely for that to be in a puppy. It's not a case where it's common for a puppy to have heart disease at this young age. So what happened is, he removed majority of the fluid. He removed all the fluid that could actually be removed, and Sheba seemed very relaxed while he was doing it. She didn't seem uncomfortable. In fact, at one point, she even went to sleep while he was removing the fluid without any kind of issues at all. And when the process was completed, Sheba just was relaxed and seemed like, hey, I'm much more comfortable now that all this, this heavy weight is off of me. When she got weighed, when we got to the veterinarian, she was actually weighing in at 20 pounds, 8 ounces. And after all the fluid came out, Sheba was weighing 13 pounds, 8 ounces. So, it was a lot of weight, on her with all that excess water in her gut. And I did notice that before the fluid was removed, she just wasn't all that active because she had all that weight that she had to, lug around. So what I'm going to let you do right now, guys, I'm going to let you listen to what the vet has to say, and then I will get back to the rest of the video, okay? You think air is in there as well, or it's just fluid?
Unless you do x-ray. In the abdominal cavity, there shouldn't be no air like that. But in the intestines, probably there can be air.
Now, the reason I asked him if there was air in it, because of how huge the gut was, I wanted to figure out whether it was just liquid or whether there was actually air in there as well. But he explained that it wouldn't be air, it's mainly fluid that is causing the gut to be distended that huge. Now, this process right here took quite some time for him to get all that fluid out. Like I said, that tin that they're squeezing the fluid in, they got at least about 6 to 8 trips to the zinc to pour that thing out to the amount of fluid that came out of Sheba's gut. Dr. Solomon explained a few more things to me as far as the process went. Take a listen. It's really a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of fluids. I've never done that.
You've seen it before?
I've seen cases, but the most I've taken from dogs is maybe 2 of this. But this amount for a puppy, that's too much.
Do you think it's something that'll build back up?
Eh?
Do you think it's something that'll come back?
If it's protein problem, probably may not. But if it's heart problem, it may.
So you say it would be less likely a heart problem at this young age?
Normally, young puppies don't have this type of problems. They have they have problems of building fluids because of lack of protein. But heart problems, it's kind of hard, unless they were born with it. See, there's a lot of there's a lot of inbred animals. So these animals come out with all sort of problems. The mother sleeping with the daddy sleeping with the mother, uncle sleeping with this one sleeping with that one.
So would this make her weak for a couple of days, or would this make her weak?
What, taking the fluids out?
Right, would that make her weak for a couple of days, or would she be normal?
It's supposed to. It's supposed to be able to maneuver more, have more energy.
And he was right about that, because I was concerned that to how she was just laying there, like, she was not feeling anything, or she didn't have any energy or strength. I was concerned that she probably would have been laid up for a couple of days, going through some kind of healing process. But that was actually quite the opposite, because after that process finished and I took Sheba home, she was vibrant and running around the yard like nothing happened. I'll get to that shortly and show you when I took Sheba back home. Now this section right here is where they've gotten out majority of the fluid, and the gut was coming from as huge as it was down to where it is that they're actually trying to gently squeeze out the balance, the remaining portion of the fluid that's left in the gut, and they're just trying to get out as much of the fluid as possible. So that's what they're doing right there, just squeezing it out a bit. But Sheba is actually not in any pain. She wasn't reacting as if she was feeling any pain at all. She was just relaxed and laying there and letting them do their thing. They did get out as much of the fluid as they could, because when they actually were finished, Sheba's gut was actually all the way down, didn't have a bulge or anything of any kind, So let's get into let me show you some clips of what Sheba actually is like after the fluid was out of her gut and how her energy was and all of that. Now, what Dr. Solomon did right there, he was testing her heartbeat, to listening to her heartbeat to make sure that it's beating normal and everything, and she is fine. And they also gave Sheba a few shots of some medicine. I'm not quite sure. I didn't ask what the medicine was for, but they gave a few shots of something, But yeah, let me let you see what's going on with the rest of the video, guys.
Muévelo. ¿Qué? Que lo muevas.
Now this section right here, as you could see, there's some fluid dripping from that needle that's sticked inside her gut right there. He is just gently squeezing out the fluid, and guys, I gotta tell you, on that towel, just by those drips, that towel was soaked with fluid. I guess
Well,
you
from
could
the guy I
consider
got him
about
from, he
two
said
more
he
tins.
he got her all the shots.
If they were putting it inside those tins, you would have gotten at least about 2 more tins just by him just gently squeezing the gut right there and letting it drip out on the towel. And this is the final step to getting all the fluid out there. Like I told you earlier, they gave Sheba a few shots of some medicine, and that's what the nurse is doing right there. And this is the final stages. Majority of the water, if not all, is already out of Sheba's gut. And like I said, she was such a good girl. She just laid there and let the doctor do what was needed to be done. And after this process right here was completed, he gave me a few insights. He told me that, well, I need to give her as much protein as possible, try to give her some cooked meat. He recommended not giving the dogs raw meat at all. He said to give her some cooked meat, to give her as much protein. The other vet recommended pro plan dog food, but he said that yes, that has protein, but no dog food has more protein than actual meat. So here you go, guys. This right here is Sheba home. Let me show you what she's like. And here she is right home after this is literally less than an hour after coming from the vet, and Sheba is home looking as healthy as ever. She didn't look like she was losing energy at all. She was very vibrant. Now you could literally see a change in her stomach in the next clip that's about to come up, where I was giving Sheba some food and she was so anxious. She's eating normally, she's still drinking water normally. She looks fine. Now what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna give you an update within a week to let you see Sheba's progress. Within 1 week of today, I'm gonna make sure to take videos every day. I'm gonna take a video tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that, and 1 week from today I'm going to give you an update on what Sheba's progress is after this fluid has been removed from her gut. I'm going to let you see what she looks like within a week. I'm going to make sure to give her a lot of protein. I'm going to cook her some meat every single day so that she eats healthy. And that is her right there, running around nice and bouncy without a huge gut, guys. So if your dog is having this issue, take your dog to the vet, get that fluid removed from their stomach. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my Pitbull Savage. Peace.